Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 6 o'clock Eastern Super Metroid Any Percent race. We have Kipp versus Traviktox. Should be a very entertaining race. Sponsored by Vi.gg. Go ahead and exclamation point bets in the chat. Go ahead and bet on the races if you are of legal age and residence. It should be a very entertaining time. It should be about an hour, a little less than that, for account post and pre-interviews. Yeah. Kipp practicing one of the hardest parts of the run right here, the little moat skip. And Tox looks like he is on the start menu, so he is feeling himself here. Kipp showing off his really little mod there. That was pretty cool. So Kipp is a pretty good run as Traviktox. They're both very experienced with the game. In several randos, several tournaments. Been watching them both for a very long time. So should be pretty solid gameplay. I'm expecting a very good race here. Once again, Vi.gg, our sponsor for this tournament. Definitely feel free to bet on this race. You are of legal age and residence. Looks like we're about ready to start this bad boy up. So there are two different main routes for any percent in Super Metroid. There's the new route, which goes to Fantoon early, and then there's the original route, which kind of kills the boss. So I believe both runners are familiar with both routes. It really depends on safety and whether or not they want to risk running the new route. Lots of easy ways to die early on with the new route, especially at Fantoon. So we may see some route deviation when they come to the red tower. Both will either go up or down, or maybe we'll see a little route deviation where one goes up and one goes down. So, Kipp, how you?
Hey, Adam, I'm not sure if I could fully hear you. I hope you can hear me. But yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good. Thank you for doing commentary, and hello to everybody out there watching the race.
Which route you think you're going to run, Kipp, or are you going to leave us to a surprise?
I'll be running a new route tonight. Potentially, it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling or how I'm performing. Occasionally in races, I will do Kraid before Ridley, but I'm planning on, most likely to be doing normal new route tonight, which is Fantoon, Ridley, Kraid, and then Dragon. I actually haven't practiced old route in probably over a year at this point, so I don't think it'd probably be a good idea for me to bust that out randomly.
It'd probably be more impressive to see you bust the old route out, considering that you haven't ran it in so long. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to see you running that, and good luck to you, Kipp.
Thank you. And before I head out, I know you got to interview Trav as well. I just want to say good luck to Traviktox. He's a great player, and it's always fun to race. This isn't the first race we've had together, so he's a great player across many categories, and I'm excited about the challenge today.
Awesome. I'm excited. Traviktox, how are you feeling? Which route you think you're going to do, or are you going to leave it to the surprise?
And I'm gonna definitely do the new route.
Cool.
Do Kraid before Ridley.
I'm assuming you'll be doing the same route then. Kraid before.
The same route.
Oh, Kraid before. Definitely, I definitely respect that. Last race, Farrell took a death. It was kind of unrelated to that, but it's a very scary run to do, especially in a race setting. Many ways to die. Anything else you want to say, Travik, before we get this race started?
Good luck to Kipp, and let's see for a good race.
Yeah, and if you guys don't mind,
that's what I'm looking.
could you, Adam, could you count me off audio-wise? I'm having some difficulty seeing the chat, but I can hear you. So if you could, when we're supposed to start, if you could count us off, I'd appreciate it.
I'll count you down from 5. I'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go. And you guys can start on if you guys would like that. Sound good? All right. Both runners, good luck to you both. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Well, they should be going. Yeah. Traviktox is a little bit of a head start. We'll see him enter series station here. Pretty standard stuff we see from Traviktox in series. He's going to go through the rooms. He's going to get to Ridley. He's going to let Ridley take his health down. And that is the fastest way to basically get through this station. Then he'll be making his exit, and then we'll get to the main part of the run, which is at Planet Zebes. Kipp giving Traviktox a much-needed head start, Kappa. Seems that we have a rip for Kipp. We're going to restart this race. Just too much of a head start for Traviktox. Too much of a handicap given there. We're going to have to restart this one. Oh, Kipp starting out this time, so looks like Kipp is starting his race. We might just do a sync at Ridley. We are going to do a sync since Kipp is making his way to the first Ridley fight, quote fight. Pretty much it's just take damage until Ridley decides to get out of there with the baby Metroid. And then the true part of the race will begin once we hit Zebes. But keep an eye on the timers during the escapes. The escape is one of the few parts of any speedrun that I know that has a timer. It's kind of like the slide in Mario 64. It's the series exit time. Let's see which runner will have a better exit. Probably my guess would be a couple of 45s, maybe. 45 would probably be really good for a race, but we'll see how experienced these runners are with the series escape. Kipp with the small lead so far, entering the second room that actually has steam, which can cause some deviance. And a 45-22 from Traviktox, very nice. 44 solid for Kipp, very nice as well. So about a 1 second lead for Traviktox. Very, very tight race. Series, which most runners are pretty good at series, pretty consistent. Heading into Planet Zebes, where the next 40-so minutes of the run will take place. Got to plow through a couple bosses, take out the mother brain, and some cool cinematics with the baby Metroid. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this race. A couple of experienced runners. The coolest things about Super Metroid is the atmosphere. When you first enter Planet Zebes, it's like raining and dark, and the music is very eerie. And then you kind of get deeper and deeper into the planet until the planet kind of has an awakening. The music kicks in and the enemies appear once you've been spotted in the original layers of Brinstar. Traviktox failing the moonfall there. It's a cool trick where you can moonwalk off a ledge in a certain way with a certain input that you basically do a fast fall. But Traviktox failed it. Kipp didn't seem to get it either, although I don't think he was. Runners are very familiar with the trick. It's a very tight race, though. Kipp looks like he took a nice early game from both players. It should be pretty tight for the both of them. About 2 ball for each runner. Within a couple seconds of each other, we get to the first missile pack of the game. Only 3 or 4 that they will be picking up, depending on safety. Some runners decide to get an extra missile tank for safety reasons, because if you get to the final boss and fail a few shots here and there or get sniped by a turret, then you're kind of in bad shape. So you'll have to have an extra couple of missiles here and there. Else you're gonna. That's for sure. If you didn't save, you're losing the race pretty much. Soon both runners will be getting 20 missiles throughout the race, which is 4 packs. So as you can see, the planet has awakened. All the enemies are awake, and we get to one of the coolest parts of the run, which is called the climb. You see Kipp doing a different version of the climb. It's called the Behemoth Climb, a series of spin jumps and ledge grabs. Very well done by Kipp, and Traviktox with the right side climb, the more traditional way to get out of that room, back into Parlor, which is where they are now. Both runners doing very well with their respective methods, and they will be coming to the bomb Chorizo, where they will receive the bomb power-up and have a mini-fight. And speaking of good things, our sponsor Vi.gg, you can bet on both these runners in future races. Type !bet in the chat. You'll find a link. If you are of legal age and residence, you can actually bet on these runners. Cool little partnership we got going on there with the GSA. Very nice fight from Kipp. What Kipp did there, and so did Traviktox, was kill the boss in a certain way where you basically skip a little cutscene where his head gets blown off, the boss's head gets blown off. And the way you do that is you kill him in a certain way where the last missile skips his last phase, basically, by doing enough damage. Traviktox with a little bit of trouble with this exit. Can get out of there. That is really tough to do, especially after you've failed it once in a race. The nerves can kind of set in there. That left side Chorizo exit is very difficult. Tight lead. That last wall. So that's how Kipp has a nice little lead now. See both runners pick up an energy tank in Terminator room, as it's called, because we will be back to that room later. We do come back to that room at the end of the game. On our way to G4, prior to Turian. An energy tank because it is right there. All right. So both runners want 5 missiles for that door, and they're going to do a trick called the Mach Ball. A little speed morph ball. And the reason for that is you can skip those gates and get your first super missile pack early. That is the key to any percent, and pretty much any Super Metroid run. Being able to get those super missiles early, boss, with Spore Spawn. It's one of the coolest tricks you can do in Super Metroid, and it's one of the most essential and fundamental. So far by both runners. Kipp with a really nice run so far. That's why he's in the lead by a couple seconds. Probably about 7 or 8. And you're going to be seeing Kipp on the left side going for a missile pack, and then he'll be entering the hidden room for the charge beam, which is another essential item that is picked up at any percent. In any percent, we skip a lot of items. We basically get the bare necessities needed as fast as we can to beat the game in all 4 main bosses, and then heading to Turian. The world record is 41 minutes and 18 seconds by Behemoth. So, yeah, it's a pretty quick category. The runners are very, very well optimized. Imagine they kind of like clip onto it. It's a nice little ledge clip you can do. Most runners use an angle down, I believe, to do that. But going up here, this is the new route. I assume Traviktox is going to go up as well. He said he was going to, and he does. Nice little skip here. You're supposed to have the ice beam here. Platforms, but with some nice wall jumps and a nice charge shot, you can get up there. Power bombs early, which is where you're about to see Kipp. He is in the first power bomb. The fanfare. Kipp will be leaving that room. Traviktox is entering. Dual door transitions, very nice. Of course, Kipp is about one room ahead right now. And Kipp on pretty nice pace. He's the 9:11 Red Tower exit. Remember when Behemoth was getting about 8:58, and he would always get mad because he'd have like a 9-minute elevator every time. You're told that Kipp is only about 10 or 15 seconds behind that kind of pace. So Kipp doing really well so far, no major mistakes, and he's going to be coming up to one of the hardest rooms with this route, and that's called the moat. He does not get the frame perfect jump. There's a frame perfect setup to do a CWJ. He gets it second try, but it looks like he's spin jump, so he's going to be going for the horizontal bomb jump method. This is very scary. If he fails this, he's going in the moat. Ooh. Stay on. Both runners going for the bomb jump method. Kipp gets it. That's huge. Traviktox is going to have to get it right behind him to make up some time. Traviktox falling into the water, and it's going to be slow to get out. There is another way to cross this, but it involves a frame perfect jump, which I think both runners got, but they elected not to do the 2-frame window on the continuous wall jump. I find the CWJ to be easier as a casual player and maybe future speedrunner of this game, but both runners going with the bomb jump, and they do get it relatively quickly. Has maintained his lead, maybe gotten a few extra seconds on Traviktox because Traviktox fell into the water. And for those of you who don't know, the water is very slow. It's very horrible controls when you're in the water until you get the gravity suit. Intended, because the gravity suit is what allows you to move freely in water. So Kipp coming up on a very heavy RNG boss called Fantoon here. Depending on the Fantoon pattern, he could lose up to 20 seconds over the best Fantoon pattern. And Kipp fired off a missile there. It looked like a super, but I don't know what he would be doing a super for. Is you do not want to use super missiles on Fantoon until it kills, because it'll enrage Fantoon and you'll be stuck dodging his attacks for I think it's 10 to 15 seconds. It's really bad. Kipp, though, using some nice Dopplers or stutters with the missiles, and very well done by Kipp. Tier material there. He's going to definitely probably gain some time over Traviktox in this fight. We see Traviktox doing pretty well with the Dopplers until he dies. That's really bad. Oh no. That is the race. That's Monka S, everybody. That's I think he does have a save at the ship, but he's about this point. So the reason new route is very scary is because you can die on that Fantoon fight really easily because of the lack of energy that you had. You're not supposed to fight Fantoon until after getting at least a few more energy tanks. At least that's how the developers had intended it. But with only one energy tank, fighting Fantoon is something that's really hard to do fast, let alone at all, without dying. And Traviktox unfortunately taken a death there. And you'll see deaths are not uncommon. We saw it in the last race with Feral, about 30 minutes in to Dragon. That was a very unfortunate death because it was a frame-perfect mistake, I've been told. But Kipp plowing through Attic here. Very well done. Kipp's on a pretty good pace, I would say. I kind of feel like I'm watching a top-tier runner here, and that's because I am. Kipp very experienced with Super Metroid as well. It's just very, very unfortunate that he happened to take a death on Fantoon. That's what can happen with New Route, and it happens a lot. Definitely, I give props to both runners doing New Route in a race where you do Fantoon early, because it is just, it's hard, it's scary, and sometimes you just die. And that's kind of my motto for Super Metroid Any Percent. Sometimes you just die, and it's not like Mario where you can just re-enter the level. You have to go all the way through the game again, or at least to your last save if you choose to save. In a run setting, you definitely don't want to save. And in a race, saving is sort of a huge time loss as well. After Fantoon, maybe before Ridley, because Ridley you can die on pretty easily. Traviktox making his way through the climb once again. I'm assuming he'll be doing right side. Yep. Very nice. Way back. That's all you can do at this point, because it's not over. If Kipp dies at all, Traviktox will take the lead once again. And that's why I'm, huge props to Travix for continuing. Because as we saw with Pharaoh yesterday, you can die even like within the last 5-10 minutes of the run. I'd like to take a moment once again to shout out our sponsor, Vi.gg. You can bet on the runners in any of the tournaments that are currently being sponsored by GSA. 70 Star, Odyssey, Any Percent, and Super Metroid Any Percent. Just exclamation point bet in the chat if you want the link to that. You just have to be of legal age and legal residence to do so. Kipp re-entering the Red Tower with Fantoon dead. He will be heading down to Norfair. I believe he said he was going to kill Ridley before Kraid. He is watching Traviktox's stream. There's really no reason not to be safe and go for Kraid first. The stream, and I don't know if Traviktox is watching the stream. So this could be very interesting, especially with Traviktox so far behind. If Kipp dies, Traviktox will not know that he particular case would retake the... This is Super Metroid Any Percent with New Route. Deaths are happen. It's kind of a rip, but at the same time, I would not be surprised if Kipp died to Ridley or to Dragon at this point, because it happens all the time. We saw it with Pharaoh in the last race, getting chain damage to Dragon, which is just super unfortunate. And I don't believe Kipp has saved either. It would probably, if he is watching the stream, he may choose to save now that he knows that he's so far ahead. You see Kipp using a power bomb there to open the entrance to Meridia ahead of time. That'll be key later when he does some cool movement to come back and kind of fly up the room when he enters. And as I predicted, we do see Kipp going for Kraid now, Vision. Normally in the New Route. And what he said before was he was going to do Ridley first, but he is probably watching the stream, and he probably saw Traviktox die, so he is going to go to Kraid first, which is safe. Those health's a little low, the boss fight's much easier, and you get an extra E-tank if you choose to go for the Kraid E-tank, which I kind of would be surprised if Kipp doesn't at this point. And just to not die, and that is a very smart decision. Let's see if he can get the quick kill. He's hesitant. And he gets a second try. His timing was a little off, but he waited, and he does get the quick kill. There will be no stand-up glitch for Kipp. And Kipp got some nice drops there. A lot of supers. I believe that says 8. Yeah, he's in really good shape. And still on really good pace. Despite doing Kraid first. And the only reason you'd want to do Kraid last is because you'll have the speed booster. The rooms before Kraid. And obviously the speed booster is really fast. Nice little D boost from Kipp. He's making his way out of Kraid. Traviktox making his way back to the red tower for a second time. Traviktox is not out of this yet. Kipp can still die even though he is playing it safe. Chain damage alone to Dragon can cost... You can lose 6 E-tanks in one frame, or I'm sorry, 1 second. You can take damage every frame, and this game is 60 FPS, so a lot of damage. Time. And as I called, Kipp will be going for the crate E-tank. He is making all the right moves. Especially considering that this is a best of 1, you definitely want to make sure that you don't die. If you can't, if you can help it. Sometimes it's hard, like Phantoon is the most scariest point of this entire route. We've seen Oats and Goats die games done quick races before to Phantoon. Oats and Goats being one of the top tier runners. Only on the grind for the the 100% world record. What's nice about doing Kraid first and getting that extra E-tank is now you have 3 E-tanks for Norfair, which is really safe. And his energy's full too because he just got that energy tank. It refills all of his health. So Kipp plowing through this race here, but is not out of the clear yet. Even with 3 energy tanks, a lot can go wrong. And as if there were some Monka-esque moments coming up in Norfair, lower Norfair, and even Meridia. Super Metroid any percent is a very unforgiving category and very dangerous. And Traviktox using that horizontal bomb jump first try. Traviktox is on really good pace if you take away that death. So Kipp has the Ice Beam now. Now that he has the Ice Beam, he can freeze enemies, and he doesn't have to worry about the Metroids. Obviously, if you don't know, you need the Ice Beam to kill Metroids, or to freeze Metroids, and then you use the missiles to kill them. You can use power bombs, but you lose a lot of health, and you can't afford that kind of time loss or health loss in any percent. So let's see how Traviktox does to Phantoon the second time around. His health is extremely low, but not uncommon to see in any percent. Hopefully he'll be able to get through Phantoon second. He gets a cool fast pattern there, but his health is extremely low. He cannot afford to take another hit. Hey, get some energy. He's got enough. He can take a hit now. He's just going to farm a little bit. He's going to get a nice little stutter in there. This is called the pro route or new route. Mainly, I would call it pro route because if you're starting off this game, I would not recommend... No, he didn't. Okay. Woo! I'm sweating. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating. But he kills Phantoon. Phantoon is dead. Once again, he's a ghost, so he just got re-killed once again. Twice. And we will not be seeing Phantoon again for the rest of this run. Metroid races coming up, including one right after this hour, and then one late tonight. Again, Vi.GG doing this cool thing, our cool sponsor, where you can bet on these races. Already, and you are of legal age and resident. These races, ! Bet in the chat. Vi.GG. The GG stands for gain. Because Vi is Gucci gain. Alright, so basically Kipp picking up the safety missiles here. He is in the point where he can... At this point, he's been given a blessing, and he knows what to do. He's been in this situation before where he knows he just has to take all the safety measures and plow through. You can still get a really good time by playing it safe as well. I expect maybe a 45, 46 pace from Kipp. Expecting a little much in this scenario, considering he has about a 9-minute lead, but runners do is the arm cannon will move up and down. Basically, that's called arm pumping, and every time you do it a certain number of times, you save time, basically. The frames, and it adds even a couple seconds is can be the difference between, you know, a minute. If you have like a high 42 and you're going for if you have a high 43 and you're going for a low 42, arm pumping could be the difference. So you'll see runners, Traviktox doing it right now, even when he's making his way through the spikes to bowling. See the Chozo, but he's just kind of show Samus the way to the gravity suit. The scariest parts of the run, besides Fantoon, and that's lower Norfair. There's a room coming up called the worst room in the game where you can take a lot of damage if you fail the movement. And of course, Ridley, the boss fight itself, can just itch you, that's for sure. Nice short charge from Kipp. He gets the short charge off the ledge and he just sparks through that room right there. Done. That's one of the pro strats. I always found that to be very, very impressive. So this is the worst room in the game here, Kipp, making his way through though. Saying, Adam Ferrari 64, that room's easy. Stop calling it the worst room of the game. I got this, bro. Indeed you do. Definitely Traviktox doing much better second time through. I feel like if this was his first run, he'd probably be only 30 seconds behind. And you see Kipp dodging these key hunters here. It's really important because they do 50 damage a pop. You definitely can't afford that kind of damage in any percent. Only 3 energy tanks at this point, and that's even with the safety. Ooh, double K-Go from Kipp. Basically clipping through with precise inputs. And he does it twice, because why not? You can do it once, do it twice. Double K-Go. Also using sparks to kill these pirates here. Very well done. Stuff you'll see. He's definitely gonna farm, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, he's gonna farm a little bit. No reason not to. And he does a little X Factor using the Wave Charge Beam combo. It's done too much by runners anymore. And yeah, he's gonna abandon it right there. Basically, if you have power bombs, you can do an X Factor by charging a wave and charge beam combo. Do it really well. But you'll just see a lot of runners just go for the charge shot Ridley fight. Ridley, the only character in the game powered by an artificial intelligence, an AI. You'll see when Ridley's doing this pogo, you can roll underneath him. You can have him turn back to the left where there's a safe spot on the left side where Ridley just can't do anything. Ideally, you don't want him to pogo though, so you can just shoot him in midair. Now, and Kipp failing to manipulate Ridley properly with a little spin. And his health is still fine, but you'd be surprised. It can get scary, but he does. Ridley is dead. So another hurdle cleared by Kipp, and it looks like he's going to off the other beams, and very smart once again. Kipp, you got to give him credit. He's playing it safe. He's basically saying, I'm not going for PB here. I just want to maintain my several-minute lead from that death. That is why he is getting an extra E-Tank. That E-Tank is not mandatory. You can beat the game with only 3 E-Tanks. Mother Brain, you just need the 3 for Mother Brain, but 4 is... It's safe, and you'll see many runners elect to get that E-Tank. It's a very quick E-Tank. It's just 2 door transitions and a fanfare. What's 15 seconds when you have a several-minute lead? Ooh, nice little movement there from Kipp. So no, he's not going to do the D-boost. Yeah, he would have had to set the power around earlier. He's just going to kind of... have, like, almost all the E-Tanks by now. If not all. I think you get the last one on the escape. But that's why all the enemies are doing like 50 a pop. But he should be fine. He's got plenty of... It would take a monstrosity for him to die. It would be a lot of not like this in the chat if he... Ooh, nice little ledge grab there. I didn't think he was going to get that. Kipp with saving the frames, definitely saving time with every little movement maneuver he does. Ability frames when you go for a blue suit during that boss fight, and if you're not careful, you can get caught inside of him and basically die in a second. Room as well. Yeah, he just filled up everything. He's good. He's good with power bombs, and power bombs are kind of rare. You don't want to mess around with those. Extra missile pack as well, in case he misses a shot on Mother Brain 1. Yeah, Mother Brain 1 you can only be damaged by missiles and super missiles. If you run out, you're kind of out of luck. Killed with charge shots. We're about Mother Brain 2 is taking too much damage, which can still happen. We're gonna see a save from Kipp. I'm fairly certain, but basically making that room a piece of cake using a speed boost spark. And then, yeah, let's see if he gets it. Very nice. We're going to see him do an X Factor on this boss here, Botwoon. A lot of runners wait for an audio cue before they start their charge, and he gets it. So now he just needs to plop a couple supers in there. And he missed one, but he's still okay. Gets some nice drops there, and he is on his way to Dragon. Just a hold your breath moment. Turian. Traviktox making his way through lower north there. Through. Nice full halfie from a once task only trick. Ooh, a goof spark from Traviktox. He did not mean to do that. So now he's got to use power bombs to get through here. It's gonna hurt his health a little bit too. He's gonna take some damage from the lava. Back to the full happy. Kipp with a once task only trick there. Basically a very precise movement to arc and ledge grab, and then get through that door and make quick work of that room, basically. He's having trouble here with the worst room in the game. He is not in good shape with that health. One more hit from anything will kill him. He's got to be very careful. He cannot afford another death. It's just... Even if Kipp dies, I mean, well, if Kipp dies, we're going to be here for a while, because then they both have to start over, but... Kipp playing it safe. I thought he was going to do that, because he got a lot of supers. He basically killed Dragon in the normal fashion, and now he's going to go for Spike Suit. Okay. He wasn't even bothering with Blue Suit because of chain damage there. Probably learned from Farrell's mistake yesterday. He's just going to run out. Not going to even bother going for Spike. He's just going to go... But Kipp is no casual player. Look at that. D-boost there. Ledge grab. Oh, look at all that. D-boost. Ledge grab. Man, Kipp knows his stuff. Kipp knows his stuff. And I was kind of hoping he didn't go for the spark there, because if he went for the Blue Suit there, where you spark into Dragon and kill him with the spark, you can get chain damage, and that could kill you no matter how many energy tanks you have. Losing. That was just yesterday, so it's definitely not uncommon. But yeah, Kipp basically just has to get through Turian now, and the race will be his. Best of one, the race and the match will be his. As Traviktox comes to Ridley, his energy, he's made it back. He was a little monk-ass there in the worst room of game, but he knows his stuff. He makes his way through, and he's gonna do some X on Ridley. Yeah, he did one. I think he may have done two. I don't remember him doing two, but he might have done. No, he did two. He did one at the beginning too. All right, Kipp, not on a bad pace either. Safe. He's gonna be coming up to G4 here. He's just got to make his way back to Terminator. I'll be back. And Traviktox, get Ridley to die. We want Ridley to die. Just Ridley's a bad person. Getting really low though. This is gonna be very scary. We might see another death from Traviktox here. He's gonna empty his supers in. Ridley's gonna get a little crazy here. He's late in his phase here, but he's very close to dying. As Kipp is back, indeed, he's gonna plow through this room with that speed booster. Ooh, and a nice little speed ball through the door, right to the back of the room, and these pirates have no chance with the wave beam. Kipp, but instead just gonna watch the... Oh, there he jumps. He's jumping around. A little scary, but given his current missile count, his super count, his energy count, has power bombs if he gets sucked by the Metroids. I'd say Kipp's in pretty good shape. Not too worried about Kipp. Traviktox, despite almost dying a second time in Lower Norfair, really got his act together, and he's playing really well. Shoutouts to both runners, making this category look doable, especially with new route. This is the pro route out here, and it looks like Traviktox. So to the ceiling there to get a clip through. You'll see pro runners do that. And speaking of pro runners, Zosti, I believe in this. World record holder for any percent. And potentially future world record holder. Continues to grind and do some more attempts. Oh, absolutely no trouble for Kipp. He's got more missiles than he needs, actually. You only need 15, but big of a lead. Maybe Metroid's gonna come in. No longer a baby. He's freaking huge. Look at how huge he is. Oh my god, that's huge. And he's gonna try to skip him, but he's not gonna skip him. He is gonna get sucked to 0-1 energy. And the baby Metroid's gonna kind of freak out here, like, oh my god, that's my mommy from Metroid 2. And the baby Metroid's really. He will redeem himself. Spoilers to whoever hasn't played the game, which, if you haven't by now, it's the best game ever. It really is. It's one of the best games ever. It's definitely my favorite game of all time. But yeah, Kipp in prime shape here. He's plowing through the game like it's nothing. As Traviktox is riding the elevator, giving himself some time to think of what he is going to do next. Probably go to Kraid, since he needs to kill Kraid. Good decision. Get to Turian without killing Kraid. And as I predicted, Kipp with the save before the final room, just in case he gets sniped or he dies or anything crazy happens. That way he does not have to go all the way back to the start. This is not the Scientist by Coldplay. There is no going back to the start if you want to win at this point. Brain is toast with 5 missiles to spare. He did not have to use those missiles, but he can use them now on Other Brain 2. Kill her with charge shots. Shouldn't take too long. The charge ice wave combo with the Spazer can definitely take her out within a couple minutes. Traviktox getting various suit. Kraid was no problem there. I was not paying attention. I'm assuming that we did not get stand-up glitch. But we will never know. But you will, because you all saw it. We saw Kipp with a really good Meridia, but he played it safe. I wouldn't be surprised if Traviktox at this point just kind of tries to plow through. Maybe flex a little bit, show off some cool strats, maybe some blue suit, maybe a spark suit, or excuse me, a spike suit. I always call it a spark suit for some reason, because you don't have to do a spark, but you do need to charge. Matchup. If you get hit by one of those, then you will not have enough energy to survive, but no problem. He takes enough damage. He only gets shocked once by this unavoidable attack by Mother Brain 2, and he is in perfect shape right now. Because once you are below 1 energy tank, Mother Brain prepares to kill Samus, but will she kill? Nah! Baby Metroid comes in with a save. Up for almost killing Samus earlier by saving Samus from certain death. Coolest, most famous scenes in video game history. presumably dead from that attack. Also going to heal Samus, as Traviktox picks up the energy tank here, right after Botwoon. Mother Brain is not dead, though. Mother Brain, one stubborn ball. This will not die. Like the famous monk Rasputin. I am a nerd. Okay, so the baby Metroid is dead, unfortunately. Tried to do a little sneak attack. Mother Brain wasn't having it, but at the same time, in the baby's death, somehow like absorbing itself into Samus, and now Samus has this wicked cool beam, and Mother Brain does not stand a chance. Good time here. Traviktox, I wouldn't be surprised to see a blue suit here. Just kind of try to flex, maybe get a Sparks. Again, this is an easy category. Deaths will happen. Ooh, Traviktox failing that short charge. So he's gonna have to try again. Gets the blue suit successfully. And jump out of there. As Kipp makes the escape, a little spark there. Skip that first room there. And off at this point. Definitely a hard category. You'll find that deaths will happen left and right, especially on Phantoon and sometimes Dragon. Enough health, unfortunately, to get through that room. Spark drains your health until you get to 29. Spark, a nice little diagonal quick spark all the way up. Who needs to climb when you got that? Let's see if Kipp saves the animals. We saw Scotty kill them, and so will Kipp. Kipp not giving a darn about those animals. He's just gonna let them die. Disappointed, but given the fact that he had that big of a lead, but GSA time of 45:40. A very good run considering he played it safe. Only about 4 minutes off the world record, and he was playing it safe for most of that race, knowing that Traviktox had died. GG's to Traviktox as well. It's not easy to run new route, him as well for also running this route. Honored to have commentated this race. You'll see Traviktox probably going to farm up a little bit here. And a low on energy. Not low on his shoutouts to Vi.gg, our sponsor. You can bet on these races if you haven't already and you are legal age and resident. Definitely, it's fun. GG's. All right, looks like Kipp is ready for the interview. We're gonna do a little post-interview here.
Hey, Adam, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Kipp. How you doing?
Good, man. Thank you. Feel pretty good about the run. It was a lot of fun.
Especially the time you got. I noticed you played some things safe, which is really smart given the scenario. But that's a really good time. 45:40 in a race. You were pulling off some cool strats. I was very...
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I played it pretty safe. The stream that we get to see, while we're racing is a few minutes behind like what's actually happening, and I try not to look at it too much. I try just to kind of look up occasionally, like at sort of major places where I get to chill for a second. And I noticed that Trav died. I didn't see exactly like when it happened, but I assume it was probably at Phantoon, given the timing of it.
Yeah, Phantoon. It happens. That's new route. Phantoon can be a very dangerous point.
Absolutely. Fantoon is very dangerous. I've died to him many times. So when I saw that Trav had died, I basically just immediately decided to, number one, run Kraid second so I could get the various suit for the gravity jump and the extra E-tank before Lower Norfair, just to make things incredibly safe. And then I went ahead and also grabbed the Ridley tank as my fourth tank, just so that way, I basically probably could have had one of the worst
Hey,
Lower
Adam, can you
Norfair
hear me?
escapes possible and still, lived. Which once
Good,
your
man. Thank you.
your
Feel
opponent
pretty
dies,
good
it
about the
mainly
run.
just
It
becomes
was a lot of fun.
finish. Even if you go a little bit slower. So there were a few hiccups. I didn't have a great Dragon fight. Missed the opening spark, and then obviously kind of set me up to not have a blue suit. And there were
But
some
you
other
played it
things.
safe by not going for blue. That was safe.
Yeah, so I feel pretty good overall about my play. I mean, I missed the
thank you.
baby
I
skip and
appreciate
some
that.
other stuff, but
Yeah, I
clearly,
played it pretty
in
safe.
a game like
The
this,
stream that we get to see,
you're just not going to get everything. You know what I mean? Every
while
run,
we're
it just
racing
doesn't
is a
work
few
that way.
minutes
So
behind, like
a
what's actually
45-40, taking a
I try
different
not to
route,
look at it
adding
too
in
much. I try
a
just to
save,
kinda
and then
look
doing
up
a bunch of safety
occasionally,
strats. I feel
at
pretty
sort of
good.
major
So
places where
I
I get
feel
to
good
chill
about
for
the
a
performance
second.
today,
And I noticed
it was a
that,
lot of fun. Now I'm looking forward to seeing
Trav
who I get
died.
to face in round 2.
I didn't see exactly like when it happened, but I assume it was probably a fan team,
Yeah,
given the
definitely
timing
gonna
of
be
it.
a good match.
And,
Any match with you is a good match. It's definitely always nice to see what you got in store. You definitely, I'd say you played it very smart given the scenario. Definitely not going for blue suit, not risking. We saw that happen to Farrell yesterday. I thought you played it really well, Kipp.
It looks like we have some echo, so I'm really sorry about that. I'll just kind of stop talking for a minute. I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but I'll just wait until they sort it out. Oh, okay. So
Looks
it
like
sounds yeah, we're good now.
good
But
now.
yeah, to your point, Adam, I think anybody that knows me personally, I have a lot of good friends that come and hang out in the stream, and they kind of have gotten to know my play style over time. And when it comes to these races, I treat them very much like they are, separate from a PB attempt. A lot of times I'll take certain strats a lot safer. I'll do things that I know are slower, but basically I'm trying to just make sure that I live and finish. So once I saw that he was dead, there's just not really much reason to take a lot of risk if the goal is to win the race as opposed to run your fastest possible time. So yeah, it just kind of depends on the circumstances. But overall, I feel like I made, generally the correct choices today. And I'm just happy to win. To be honest, I don't even really care what time I run. I just want to put myself in a position to try to win as best I can.
Good time, especially for a race setting. Like you said, it's different than PB attempts. I feel like you made all the right decisions today.
Cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you doing commentary, Adam. Thank you so much for stepping in to do this for us. And I again want to say GG to Trav. I know he'll be here in a minute and he'll get to do his post-game interview too. But Traviktox is a fantastic runner. He's got a lot of great times in different categories. So I hate that he died, but that's just Super Metroid, man. It's a tough game and anything can happen to anybody at any time. So I'll just say GG. Thanks again. And thank you, chat. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you in round 2.
To it. It's going to be very fun. GG's. And GG's to Traviktox as well. If you take away the death, this second run is pretty good. This is definitely sub 50 second attempt. It's really Traviktox is really pulled through, and definitely I give him a lot of credit for doing and continuing to show his cool gameplay. Definitely shout outs to both runners. Definitely check them out. Super Metroid any percent and Super Metroid as a whole is one of the best communities on Twitch. Definitely one of the best speed games on in the Mother Brain shooting some catch up there. Definitely can't afford to get hit by that. And also special thanks to Cheezo5 doing the restream. Man that needs no introductions. Lots of love for him as well. Trav just finishing up. You'll see the epic cutscene here with the baby Metroid absolutely destroying Mother Brain 2. Look at her just get wrecked, man. She deserves that. Such an evil villain. She gets sucked to death. Should have sucked her a couple more times just to make sure, but baby Metroid did not want to hesitate. Did not know how much time Samus had before death there. Definitely want to save Samus first. But really, it wouldn't be as cinematic without the death of the baby Metroid. Sorry, I was laughing at something else. Definitely, Kipp with a really good time. I'm honestly impressed. I thought it was going to be like a 47, 48 with the strats or with the safe strats, you know, saves and. But really, I mean, he pretty much pulled off everything like a pro. He was doing all the pro strats, and now that I think about it, he definitely had a 44 in him today, even with all the safe strats. Take a moment here to also shout out our sponsor, Vi.GG. This tournament, as well as the Odyssey and the 70-star tournament, both banners themselves, Vi.GG is actually letting you bet on all the racers if you are of legal age and residence. So yeah, betting on esports. This is 2018. We are popping off. And exclamation point bet in the chat if you would like to do so yourself. And stick around. We have another. Not only do we have a post interview coming up with Traviktox, see how he's feeling. We also have another race coming up with Super Metroid. And then we have a 70-star matchup, which should be pretty fun. A couple of really high-level runners, and then we have another Super Metroid after that, any percent. So a really good night for Speedrun GSA. It's gonna be a really good night for all you as well that want to tune in. You definitely won't be regretting it. And if you stick around, you'll this next Super Metroid. World record, Zosi gonna be performing. World record capable. He's had the world record for pretty much every category in the game at one time or another that he's in. It's high quality gameplay from him. He's been practicing today. Some high quality gameplay on the other side as well. Traviktox about to finish with a 56-20, and right after that, it looks like he has shut off his stream or shut off his console. 56-20 was the time. Not bad at all, given the death. And I thought we saw some really good gameplay from both runners. We should be getting Traviktox coming in here. Oh, nope, he has left the building, folks. So we are going to be cutting to intermission before our next Super Metroid race. Thank you all for watching. Vi.GG. Shout outs to our sponsor. We love you. Bet on the runners if you are of legal age. I highly encourage it. To our legal residents as well. We are going to be cutting to intermission. Shout out to Cheese05 for the, well, formerly Cheese05, Cheese for the restream. Thank you all for watching.